Check out this video. It's Newark Mayor Ras Baraka being taken into custody at an ICE detention center. Baraka and 3 House Democrats say they were visiting the facility to conduct oversight. He is now being charged with trespassing. He has not entered a plea just yet.
Experience Karen Hunter in a completely different way. Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me in Karen Hunter is Awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed. Smiz and I were commiserating over Jersey. I was telling him I have a neighbor that was like, if Jersey turns red, I don't know what to do. We have a gubernatorial race coming up. I'm seeing a lot of the signs. I'm seeing a lot of Ras Baraka signs in my neighborhood now all of a sudden, which is nice. I remember the first one that went up. I was like, oh, come on through, neighbor. Come on through. And now there's like pop, 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 like popcorn. It takes one person to be bold enough. So when they come knock on your door, say yes, it's okay. It's all right. You can lead the way. Steve Fulop has been on the show. We've talked to Ras Baraka. We got Mikey Sherrill will be on. On the Republican side is some guy that has literally shit in his name. His name is Shitterelli. I don't think he should be governor. Y'all. So I say all of that to say that Ras Baraka, mayor of Newark, the largest city in New Jersey, was arrested by ICE because they said he was trespassing, because he's standing in the gap. Now, he comes from a long line of liberators. His dad was Amir Baraka. His mama was out in the streets as well, fighting for liberation in a time that we didn't need to return to, but here we are. So that's in his DNA, school principal in Newark. He made his bones there, and in many ways has shown leadership. And I had the pleasure of speaking with him. I'm not endorsing anyone, but right. If I think about people that we can work with, which is always the case, he's somebody that I know cares about teachers, cares about workers, cares about people, and standing and fighting for the rights of immigrants to be treated like human beings, I think is a really good thing to get arrested for. So shout out to him. He's at a detention center right now in Newark and on Freeland Heisen Avenue, which is where they are holding him. Wow. And this is a time, they arrested this week also, or last week and this week, the Reverend Barber got arrested. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And these are peaceful. I mean, and they're being aggressive. They were aggressive with Ras Baraka.
This is, this just goes back to what people were saying last year, where it's like, pick the people you want to protest against. You get to pick your people that you want, you get to push. And there's one side of this thing that, they're going to weaponize the power of the government in the most authoritarian way they can. And they're arresting people for exercising their freedom of speech. They're arresting people for standing up for other folks. They're arresting people just for ruling the wrong way. They're arresting judges, protesters. They're cracking down on all this stuff. And, we're going to see who's fighters and who's not when it comes down to it. Because at this point, you got to walk out the house with the expectation you might not be coming home from these protests because of the way that it's escalating.
Yeah, I mean, it is, it can be scary. So when the lady stood up crying, I get it. There's going to be a lot of harm, but the courts, I feel like, are finally, waking up to.
Well, that's their shock and awe tactic, right? Like they pass a bunch of bullshit that's illegal, and they just say they're gonna do it, and they whether it's enforced or not, who knows? And then they leave it up to the people who are the adults and who know the law and stuff to figure it out 3-4 months later. It just doesn't feel good. But that's why you gotta, not you and me, but just the people listening, people in general, the general you cannot be a prisoner of the moment, and you cannot forget the long game. You cannot just give in, because they want you to be a prisoner of the moment. They want every headline to send a tremor down your spine to make you want to give up and go, this is too much. We can't do it. And then months later, when it's proven that, oh no, you can't do that. They can't do what they said they could do. The same way you felt it in your bones when he said he was going to do it, and you was like, they can't do that. They actually can't do it, but it might take 3 months. It might take 4 months to find out they can't. We just recently in North Carolina had a judge who tried to steal a damn election. And he finally just stopped yesterday because a Trump appointed judge said, no, you lost.
That's right.
You knew the rules of the game before you went out there, got your ass kicked. You lost. You can't disenfranchise these voters. You can't throw out everybody who didn't vote your way. You just take your L. And he finally took his L yesterday. God, we've been fighting since damn November. Like this is
wow.
like this
6 months.
Yes.
You're talking about Judge Jefferson Griffin.
Yes.
Judge Jefferson conceded yesterday.
Crazy.
Allison Riggs won. She won November. She won in December. She won in January. We're now in damn May.
Right.
And
but that's the fortitude it takes, and that's the long view you have to have. You can't just give up and be, because I knew people, and I get it. It's scary. It is very scary. I live in North Carolina. This is one of the scariest states to live in because they are actively trying to steal our democracy. Like there was a international organization maybe 5-6 years ago that came to North Carolina and ruled that we do not have a functioning democracy because of all the different methods they're trying to gerrymander and to voter suppress people. And so you could give up. You could be like giving to both sides of the same or whatever the hell people say that makes them feel good, staying home and not doing shit. Or you rely on the system and you fight. Like you fight, you make these people hold up to their promises. That's the only thing that we really have, man. That nothing else has really worked for us in this country, unfortunately, because we have tried damn everything and it ain't our fault. But this is one way we do know that works, is that you hold them accountable to the promises that they make, and you don't let them steal a damn the judgeship. It's bad enough already. So I'm so glad we did that. Yes. And you got to stand 10 toes down.
And to underscore what you're saying, Justice Riggs won by 734 votes.
Come on.
There were 5.5 million ballots cast in North Carolina for that justice race. Millions and millions of dollars spent, and it came down to 734
They
votes.
say your vote don't matter. They say both sides are the same. One of them's actually trying to make sure I can't vote. One of them's checking my voter ID. One of them's taking the damn the voting districts out of my community so that I have to drive a little further. One of them won't let us vote on Sundays. One of them stopped early voting from like a month to a week or 2 weeks. This shit is real. Like this stuff matters. And so, I picked my side. I know who I'm fighting with. I know who's fighting with me. And so we ride into the polls together, but it's just our state this is why I feel the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like if you live in other places, I get how people could feel differently. I haven't had the experience or the luxury of being like, it'll work out if I stay home. I ain't had that. So I'm not moving that way. And that's why I implore other people to move that way too. Because if it ain't you today, it could be your ass tomorrow. That's a damn fact. I don't care where you live. You think you safe? California get a little redder every election. Look at New York City and they mayors.
That's true.
Like
I'm talking about Jersey.
Yes.
Now, I'm like, shit.
Ain't nobody safe. Don't rest on your laurels and think they not, because they don't give up. It took them 40 years to overturn Roe v. Wade. They don't give up. So you can't give up either. Don't get feel like you safe. You ain't safe.
That is a perfect message. Roderick Morrow is his name, the black guy who tips.com.
Experience Karen Hunter in a completely different way. Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.